right, well, welcome back. Back to the Steely Dan. That was Chain Lightning. This is a how-to video. I'm going to show you how to play the chords on it and the beginning bass note as well. If you want to support the work I'm doing, there's a link in the description. There's also a link to a chord chart and the chord diagrams and a link to my Spotify channel as well. So anyhow, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the chart, the chord diagrams, and I'm going to go over the whole tune with you. And by the way, what I just played, that's the whole song. Okay, here we go. Okay, so if you look at this chart, what I did is well, first of all, the layout, intro, verse, and then when you get through this whole section here, this is the whole tune, and it just repeats this section, you know, the singing, the verse, and then the guitar solo, and then it just plays this dominant seventh chord for a couple bars, and then the DS means go back to the sign here and just continue on here. Okay, let's start with the intro. So just to let you know, the intro and the first line of the verse are exactly the same. So what I did is I wrote out 8 dashes representing eighth notes, and then I wrote the chord changes where they land on each one of those eighth notes. So like this is just an open A note, and then we're playing an F sharp minor over A, and then an E minor over A, and an F sharp minor over A, and then another A bass note. And then we go into the next measure, it's F sharp minor twice, ba, ba, ba. Okay, so it's boom, ba, 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 ba. Okay. So this is the rhythm of this, and then over here we have a repeat the previous 2 bars. So repeat the previous 2 bars. So that means when you get to this, you play these 2 over again. So what I've got going here is you're playing just a bass note, and then F sharp minor, E minor, and you notice that A stays in the bass, and back to F sharp minor, and then you hit the bass note one more time, and F sharp minor twice. Okay, so this is what that looks like. I'm doing this little rhythm here with my fingers. It's down with the thumb, up with the index finger on the next string, and then the next 2 strings are going to be played with these 2. So it's down, up, and then up with this pair. Okay, let's look at the chord diagrams. Well, first of all, one more thing about the chart. So it's the bass note stays through this first part of the verse, and then the bass note moves to C, and basically you're playing these triads, F sharp minor, E sharp. These are all triads. I'll explain what a triad is in a minute here. These are all triads: D, C, D, E minor, and then but C stays in the bass, and then we have G that stays in the bass with more triads, then D, and then back to A. Let's get down here to the chord diagrams. So what I've got here, F sharp minor. I want to, here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to notes. So you can see this is F sharp. So F sharp would be 1. Based on a major scale, like if you know, instead of doing the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, we're doing 1, 2, 3. We're putting numbers on everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So F sharp would be 1. So if we turn those into intervals, this is F sharp, this is 1. I'm just showing you so that when you know the numbers and where they are in relationship to each other, then you can figure out pretty much any chord that you want to play. So a triad is based on, when you start making chords, you start with the first note of the scale, and you go 1, 3, 5. So you skip 2 and you skip 4. So 1, 3, 5. That's a basic triad that is, and using the roots, so that'd be an F sharp chord. Actually, it's right here. So this would be 1, 3, 5. So, and these are scattered around because it's on a guitar, and the notes, as you go up the neck, you know, things just get scattered around. So you can't voice them right in order. Sometimes you can in some voicings, okay? But in this situation, the 1 is here, the 3 is here, and the 5 is here. And then we have an A in the bass that just stays there, okay? But since this is a minor chord, the difference between a minor chord and a major chord is the third. You take the third and you move it down a half a step, and now you have an F sharp minor. This is an F sharp major, that's just F sharp, and then this is F sharp minor, okay? Move over here, it's the same program. This note is E, so we got 1, flat 3, 5. So the voicing of this, if somebody asks you how are you voicing that chord, if you're just starting with this triad, you'd say, well, flat 3, 5, 1, okay? Flat 3 happens to be in the bass, but that's going to muddy the waters if we talk about that note right there. Just remember that A has to stay in the bass while you're playing these two chords here. So you have the same program here. So this is 1, flat 3, 5, but A stays in the bass, right? And actually that's supposed to be because it's an open note. Okay, so I just played those for you. And now we're going to go down to the verse. So first two chords of the verse, it's the same. Let's make that open. Okay, it's a F sharp minor to E minor. So I just showed you those. Let me just show them to you one more time so that they look like this. Okay. So then what happens is, look up at the, okay, so the bass note is A. Now the bass note moves to C. So this is also A right there, but that's the open A. But since we're up here in C, we could either play C here, and that's a little bit of a stretch. This is a little easier to play in this section, so we'll keep this. We're going to go with this program here. So this is a triad. I'm just going to change this to intervals, the numbers of the scale. This is D right here because this is a D over C. So this means we play a D chord over C. C is in the bass. So this is C right here. But let's talk about this part here. Based on a D scale, 1, 3, and 5. That's how you arrive at that. So I'm going to move it back to notes. So we have C in the bass, and we have C in the bass for the C chord. Well, we're playing a C chord, so it's, that's what we want. And then when we play E minor, which is right here, this is E. Okay, let's change this to intervals so you can see. So this is E right here. So if you were going to play an E major scale, okay, and then you go 1, 3, 5, you end up with 1, 3, and 5. That's an E triad. That's a major chord. But since we're playing minor, we need to flat this. So now this voicing is 1, flat 3, 5. Okay, and then this is C right here. Gonna move this back to notes here. Okay, so these are our three triads: D, C, and E minor for the next section. So let me show you how to play that here. So I'm barring. That's D, and I have C in the bass. And then now I've got my second finger on the bass note here. But what I'm going to do is when I move this triad down to here, I'm going to grab this with my pinky and then back. See, back to the second finger, pinky, second finger, and then what I'm going to do is when I grab that C minor, I'm just going to reach up here and just grab it like that. I'm not going to worry about the bass note, although you can. Instinctively, I always use my index finger to grab that. If you can make that move fast, okay? And by the way, the bass note or the bass line, and I'll show you the bass line at the end here. I'll just show, actually I'm going to show it to you right now. And then I'll probably run over it again later. So on the first section, so it's A. So what we're doing here is 1, 6, flat 7, 6, 5, 1. Okay, so the other chords, when we go up here, there's another bass line that's going there, and on the G, it changes up a little bit. But since, this is not a finger style class. That's a handful to try and learn that. So we're just going to stick with just a kind of a pedal, you know, because this will be convincing with the tune. So and then you go to C. Okay, so we just ran over this. Now we're going to go to the next change, which is going to be, now we have G in the bass. And we're going to stick with the same triad. So you had D, C, and E minor. Well, you have D, C, and E minor here, except that G is in the bass now. Now this is the hardest move in this whole song. So let's take a look at how we're going to play this. Okay, so the way that I like to play it is my index finger here, and then I'm grabbing the triad, the D triad right here. It's a stretch. Move down to C like that. See, I'm trying to keep this low G. I'm trying to keep that going. And then I'm going to come up here and just like I did up before, grab the E minor, and then get back down here and grab that bass note again. So, okay, now I'm going to show you an alternative to that. It's not much easier, but you can play this. So you have this, this is a D triad. We also have it here. So you could, second finger there, actually, you want to play this, so I'm gonna bar to get these two. Third finger there, and then we're gonna grab this. Okay. Now this finger, the third finger, that's on the same string on all three chords. So that's D, and then just don't even worry about the bass note when you grab C. Just pluck those three strings because you have two open notes, and then there's C. And then back to D, and then you can grab the bass note again. Now move your third finger up and then grab E minor. Okay? And back to D. Actually, in the very last one, I would grab this C right here and keep this in the bass note. So, okay. Okay, that's a little easier than this other one as well. It's less of a stretch. It's not much easier, but okay, so now let's move to the next section. Now we have D. So now we have D, C, and E minors. You notice? D, C, and E minor here. Only the bass note is different, so now we have D in the bass. Okay? And that looks like this. So there's D. I'm barring these three. And then there's bar across, back to D, and then grab that E minor again, just same way. Okay, now the bass note moves to E. So now, but it's a D, and the chord is D, but E is in the bass now. So, and then E7, and there's the 1, the flat 7, the 3, and the 1. So, let me just play this whole progression slow. Actually, the first section really doesn't use that E minor. It just does this. Okay? All right, well, so that is the entire tune. Now I'm going to go over that bass line one more time. So it's A, so 1, 6, flat 7, 6, 5, 1. So the A, F sharp, G, F sharp, E, A. It's good to memorize these numbers. Like if you're going to play an A major scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So we're playing 1, 6. There's the flat 7 instead of the regular 7. So a dominant 7th chord has a flat 7 in it, okay? And that's what the... Okay. All right, well, that's the whole tune. It's a pretty short progression, and it plays, just keeps repeating through the whole tune. So anyhow, I appreciate you watching, and check out the links, the chords and the chord, or the chart and the chord diagrams. And if you want to support the work I'm doing, there's a link there as well, and my Spotify channel. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.